There has been so many conversations when it comes to gun control, gun legislation. Usually it's on the left where they're like, we need to get rid of the guns are the problems. And then on the right, they'll be like, guns are not the problem, people are the problems. And we all know the Second Amendment is there to protect us against, any danger that could be brought upon us from our fellow man or from government tyranny and so on and so on. And I don't really know my position fully. I know I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe we have the right to have these guns to protect ourselves. But I'm like wondering, should there be some sort of legislation or like not even legislation, reform necessarily, but like should someone get like a psych valve, whatever. In this video, we're gonna have someone pull up a video to explain the importance of why having the Second Amendment, having guns can protect us as American citizens, because it's a crazy world out there. But before we get into that, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to Resist the Mainstream, because it ensures to YouTube that you're enjoying these videos, and in turn, they will continually show up in your feed and they'll push it out to more people. I'm Titus. Let's get into this video.
Gentleman yields back. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Nehls.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, ladies, for being here. For those watching at home, I want to be clear what this is about. Joe Biden wants to take your guns. He does. He wants to infringe on your Second Amendment rights. He wants to strip you of the ability to protect your family, your community, your country. It's dangerous. It's unconstitutional. And it does nothing to address crime. Criminals will still have guns long after law-abiding citizens don't. I'd like to turn your attention to an incident that happened in June near my district in Houston. Play the clip. This was what Mr. Hunt was referencing. We don't have audio, but you see this knucklehead here, and he's in the gray truck, and he gets up there, and he obviously has a pistol. There's a pregnant woman standing there with her husband. This guy gets a little bit bold. Look at it, he points the gun. He's going to try to rob them. Goes across, he approaches them. Pistol whips the man, the husband, and the woman gets out and she shoots him, pulls out her pistola and shoots him. Not only protecting herself, but protecting her husband, her unborn child. Unfortunately, the suspect was taken to the hospital where he survived.
Not the husband smacking him on the head after he gets. No, but this is a vital, or is a very good example for why we should have the right to bear arms. You never know when some wacko who has access to a gun, and as this guy was saying earlier, that if you're a law-abiding citizen, you're probably not the person who's out here like pulling guns out on people. I'm not saying that that's never happened, but if you're not a law-abiding citizen, if guns are illegal, you're still going to have access to it. So that's the danger in removing guns from the public, from the people, because it's just like you're just doing us more harm. The police can't always be there when you need them. So in this situation here, even if the police had showed up, it would have been too late. They were able to actually defend themselves against a man who pulled a gun on them. And this woman was pregnant with her husband. So it shows the importance of it. Obviously there's dangers to guns, but it's a dangerous thing, and people are going to use it against you in some cases. And it's nice to be able to have it to fight back. So good example to be pro-gun.
Wish she would have been a better shot. It would have reduced recidivism. Because guys like this get back out on the streets. They get back out on the streets. They'll do the same damn thing. I think you've seen a rise in gun sales because the American people truly understand that they always can't count on the government to protect them. I served in law enforcement for 30 years. I was a sheriff of a very large county. I've been to several homicides. Several of them related to domestic abuse. Several of them where their husbands went out there and just brutally murdered the entire family. There were times I reflect now and I say to myself, maybe I wish that mother, that woman who could have received training and been a responsible gun owner, would have had an opportunity to protect her children and herself from that husband, the boyfriend, and the numerous other women that were just brutally murdered by just criminals. Now, many of these guys may have had some mental health issues. I got it. But they had nothing there to protect themselves. And if they would have had something, such as a firearm, maybe they would be able to talk to us today. Ms. Solomon, as a former lawman, we've carried guns every day. And I can tell you, there's not a law enforcement officer in the country today that wakes up, says, I want to go out and legally kill somebody, What do you think that woman was thinking after she was out there and she points a gun and shoots that guy? I mean, how will that affect her for the rest of her life? I mean, what do you think she's thinking about her mental health? How do you think that will affect her for the rest of her life?
Before she answers this, well, the fact that she's alive and was able to protect her baby, her unborn child, and her husband, I think, yes, it'll be a little traumatizing that you shot somebody, but in the long run, being alive, I think, takes priority here in terms of importance and necessity. And so I don't know what she's going to answer, but
I definitely do believe that she didn't wake up that day and say, I wanted to kill anybody.
Right.
She will feel empowered that she was able to save herself and her husband or whoever that was, her family member. But she will have access to get better and over that and eventually still carry a firearm. She will feel empowered. And I believe she was pregnant. And so it's going to empower her and that child that comes into the world that they're not a victim.
She should be here sharing her story as well one day, talking
should.
about how that weapon saved her life. Maybe looking at her training. How did she acquire that? What type of training? And did she become proficient at it? We got a lot of people that want to carry a gun, but they don't go through that training. I would encourage everybody at least get proficient with that firearm so you know how to use it. Ms. Wottrell, you mentioned in your testimony that several major cities who have adopted some of the strictest gun control laws in the country remain unsafe still today. Do you think more gun control laws would have prevented that suspect in the video from illegally obtaining a gun?
No, criminals are going to get a firearm, whether it's against the law or not. They don't care how many laws they break. And when I carry to save a life, my life, not to take a life. So when someone is faced with a situation when they have to defend themselves and take a life, I'm sure it's very hard to accept that, but yet they're very happy because they're here to talk about it.
Yes, thank you. And
also, yeah, it's literally the purpose of it. But I do think there should be like requirements in terms of proficiency and making sure that you actually know how to handle a gun if you're going to buy one. Like you're legally allowed to have one. You know, it's part of our Constitution. But you should be obligated to have, be proficient in it. Like with a license, you have to take a test. You have to know what you're doing in order for everyone else to be safe on the road. So I agree with the proficient thing.
Ms. Glenn, would you agree to, Chicago, some of the strictest gun control laws in the country, they're out there. I mean, red flag laws, can't have a concealed weapon without a permit, background checks, lock and store the guns. I mean, they have the strictest, but yet, they have gun violence up through the moon. There were over 2,800 shootings in Chicago last year, 1,300 in LA, 1,200 in New York. I'm telling you right now, Tommy Turd does not care about gun laws. They're going to have them. It will just affect the law-abiding citizen.
Gentleman's time is expired. You may answer the question if you wish.
I don't have the expertise, and I'm not here on the expertise about gun laws in those cities. What I'm here about is how do we ensure that those that are abusive do not have access to a firearm in which a woman can be killed.
Chair recognizes the gentlelady from Pennsylvania, Ms. Dean.
I would also like to know how you can prevent that which you would not know. Unless, again, there's like psych evals being done for all these individuals who are getting guns prior to them getting them. Like, there's just no way to know, right? That's interesting. But I think the points made in this video kind of just prove why being able to have access to a firearm to protect yourself and your family is more important than trying to take away guns from everyone. Because of the few unhinged individuals that are going to wreak harm. Because if they are going to wreak harm with guns, it'd be nice to have a gun to protect yourself. Anyways, can't always rely on the cops. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to comment down your thoughts below. I want to know what you guys are thinking, and see you on the next one. Peace.